You have to choose a tribe, my boy. If you don't choose a tribe, you will die.
Was this like a young adult novel from the early to mid 2000s? Fuck you.
Yeah, it is actually. Hi, welcome to What an Oddcast. I'm Jared Minikheim. This is Anthony Denny, and this is the
Hello.
Oddtober Oddchat. I'm calling it.
Ooh, I love that title. Fuck yeah.
Why do you have to oversell it? You know what? We need to have. Okay, you know what? We need to take a minute. I think we need to have. You need to just take it down a notch. You need to just take it down a notch. All right, just take it down. All right. I am so high right now. Just take it down.
Get up and down with the sickness.
Jesus.
Get down with the sickness.
So speaking of Disturbed, that'll actually take place in a movie later, because we're talking about our first horror movies, the movies that we first saw that got us into the genre, and we started watching more.
Yes, sir. What movies popped our horror movie cherry?
Yes, what demon or knife-covered wreck dick popped that sweet little virgin anus, nerd anus of yours? Anthony, why don't you start? What really got you going? What got you?
Well, what I can remember is the very first rated R movie, or not even rated R, horror movie that I saw.
Rated R for retarded.
Was probably the Blair Witch Project.
Blair Witch. Now,
Yeah,
are we
Blair
talking...
Witch.
Now, to clarify, because there was a recent one made, we're talking Blair Witch...
Jared, we're talking about the ones in the past. Of course, it's going to be the original Blair Witch, not Blair Witch 2. Wait, you just started watching that? Yes, that was the very first horror movie. No, Blair Witch 2 was the very first horror movie I've ever seen, Jared.
Yes, I knew it.
It's been all facade. You know, I spent so much money on Jason merchandise just because I wanted to look cool.
I knew it. I'm glad you're coming out of the closet now.
Well, you know, I'm trying to follow your lead. So
okay, all right, fair enough. So the original Blair Witch that made found footage a thing.
Yeah,
like, everyone started doing that after this. Because it was set up to make you believe that it was something found, and that, you know, it's like, oh my god, these people died. Like, yo, that's crazy. Like, yo, I can't believe they're making this normal for people to go see. These kids are dead out there. I'd say we need to go to the forest and burn it the fuck down. You know what I'm saying? Fuck this.
Oh,
witch.
yeah. Dude, it even made it worse because my mom was like, you know that's real, right?
Oh, no, like, that is the thing I will say. The Blair Witch movie, it was found footage, but it did have its own basis, because there is the real legend of the Blair Witch, and so I mean, it is something that it was based off of reality. But yeah, it had its terrifying factor back in the day. I'll give it credit.
Yeah, it did something that was never done before.
Indeed, which is why I think I don't think you can hate it for being a found footage of like oh, everybody did that. Like, this was the one that kind of set that in motion. It was one of the first ones to really do it. Then the other big one you had later on was Cloverfield and Paranormal Activity. We're like, oh my god, everyone's doing this. Like,
I would say Paranormal Activity is the one that made it really popular.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Yeah. So yeah, Blair Witch, you got the... What? You know, I forget the main base. They're just going into the forest to like look for the Blair Witch, right? Or like show what's going on.
Yeah, they're trying to figure out the legend of the Blair Witch.
So, and they just... what up, guys? We're going into the forest, and we're like totally gonna find the Blair Witch and like kick her out of here. So welcome along. Yo, it's your boy. I'm totally gonna tap that on the trip, yo, holding the camera. What up?
And then there's me, the third wheel. Yo.
Yeah, I can't go without that third wheel, bro. Gotta make him feel awkward.
Yeah, but let me tell you, the Blair Witch Project for a while made me afraid of piles of rocks.
Hey, bro.
Yo, bro.
Can I tell you something, bro?
Is it about the map?
You're carrying the condoms in your backpack. They're in your backpack, so I'm gonna have to come to you to get them. You know what I mean?
But yeah.
So yeah,
Sticks and rocks were made terrifying from this movie.
yes, they were, because the sticks and rocks were like the witch's way of fucking with you. Then eventually, I mean, it's like she pulls you into her own reality, and then she just kills you. Basically, like you can't escape once you enter.
Yeah,
I just like the idea. Makes it any better on themselves. Like every movie that they make with Blair Witch, because even the newest one that they made, it was always it's all the same. Like when she puts up sticks or whatever, they just destroy it. Like nobody gives a shit. Like whatever, fuck you and your tricks. And then that's what seals your fate. Like if you had just left it alone.
Like you broke my sticks. That took me hours to do.
Oh, you see, it took me forever to make these sticks. You see. I like to make these stick things and give them to people, and then you just come and say the real die.
Exactly.
Wow, Grandma. Why don't you sit down and have another cup of tea?
You just need to chillax.
Yeah, just need to chillax, Derry.
But no, I haven't seen the new Blair Witches. You
haven't seen the newest one they did? I think they just went Blair Witch instead of the Blair Witch, but I don't... A buddy of mine I was living with a couple of years ago, he rented it, and I mean it had its terrifying moments. So I do give it credit. It took that same concept from the first one of the found footage, and it's actually, if I remember right, it's like the brother of the woman who was making the first one goes looking for her all these years later, and shit just gets super fucked.
Well, yeah, it was a
fun ride. I'll give it that. It was a fun ride.
You don't fuck with the Blair Witch. The Blair Witch fucks with you and then murders you.
Oh, most definitely. Whew. All right, so Blair Witch, what else we got?
No, well, do we want one from you?
Let's randomize it. Randomize it, baby. Randomize it. And stop.
My finger was on spiders.
Oh my god. So I have a special treat for this one I was telling Anthony about. This is for you guys.
The fans.
Yes. Correct. Spiders was a movie that came out in 2000. I was about 6, maybe 7. I was young. And I liked to watch the Sci-Fi Channel back in the day, because especially in October, because like I was weird. Horror movies would scared me as a little kid, but I loved fucking watching them. But sometimes they would really get to me. Yeah. So sit back, relax, and enjoy this.
It can strike without warning, and all it needs to make 1,000 more just like.
So that's a little taste. I'm actually going to give you the rest of this. I just really want to play this tidbit for you so you can just really hear the cheesiness.
It is you.
Where are you? Come on out!
So yeah, and there's a couple like dumb kills for you. It's like a shaky cam floating towards a dude to represent the spider. That's the first one. The second one then came out about like 2 years later. It was like straight to D. It even tells you like home video presents. Like, oh, this was straight to video. So Sci-Fi was able to play them really quick. So here's a tidbit of Spiders 2: Breeding Ground.
Ooh, sexy.
Within. And once you discover the truth,
oh my god,
the hunt is on.
There's no way off my ship.
Enjoy the show. It hides in the shadows.
Dude, looking back on these now, I don't know how the hell I was afraid of these things. Like the second one, the trailer that they have for it, that they had put out for this fucking thing, it hides in the shadows. And the only thing it wants is you. It's like some dude heavy, like whisper breathing, like he's about to just fuck you hard.
Oh, you like spiders? Oh, you're gonna love spiders too.
So you think you know spiders? Well, this itsy bitsy spider, it hides in the shadows. Oh, but no, these made me terrified of spiders because first off, as a kid, they creep me out, okay? I don't care. There's everybody like, oh, they're super helpful. Like, I get they're super helpful. I don't care anything about them as long as they get nowhere fucking near me because I just find them insanely creepy. A ton of fucking eyes, a bunch of little legs, and they move all fucking quick and sporadic. Like, no, it creeps me out. They just creep me the fuck out. So having genetically modified spiders coming after you terrified me even more. And I always played in the woods. And I believe there's even there's like 3-4 of these fucking movies. I think it's the third one, or it was a spin-off one of it. They're on an island, and it creeped me out to play in the woods. Because then right after this, we actually were talking about it before, and I ended up adding it because it was tied with this. I ended up seeing Arachnophobia, like right after these. And that one fucked me up for being inside the house.
I'm about to say, that one's not a giant terrifying spiders. That's regular spiders.
Yeah, that one was scary to me as a kid because it wasn't like a big giant made up spider that you could like definitely see coming and whatever. It was basically like what looked like a tarantula, and the storyline is that it breeds with a house spider, and there's like hundreds of these extremely deadly spiders everywhere in people's town houses and shit. Like, oh. So yeah, I was fucked up by spiders by all of these. I fucking hate spiders.
I'm not afraid of spiders. Like, they don't bother me at all.
Oh, they don't bother you at all?
Nah. Actually, I have a spider. His name is Willem.
Willem?
Yes, after Willem Dafoe.
Willem Dafoe.
Yeah, his full name is Willem Spider the Friend.
Okay.
No, he lives in the corner of my room. He's pretty cool. I'm looking at him right now.
Uh-huh.
Hey, Willem. Named after Willem Dafoe because Willem Dafoe is a man that makes me go, oh God, why? But
I mean, sometimes. I think that's why he was perfectly casted as Green Goblin. He's creepy looking already. I mean, there wasn't much he had to do. So Anthony, why don't you give us one of yours now that we got my cheesiness out of the way?
All right. Well, I think we should just break open some more cheddar, and we're going to talk about It.
Oh, you mean the 2018 It?
Jared, I have a question for you.
What's that?
Do you have Prince Albert in a can?
No.
That's the wrong answer, Jared, and you know it. Oh, you better want to know. No, the one with Tim Curry. This movie alone, the reason why I bring it up is because it made me both afraid of and cured my fear of clowns.
This is also on my list because the original Tim Curry, it was a made-for-TV miniseries they did that was later released on VHS in 2 parts to make it look like a 2-part movie. But it was scary for the time, and I love Tim Curry's version of it. Because I do like the 2019, but just something about Tim Curry, the way he handled it was fucking amazing. And I think if you had given him an R, let's say they gave him more of an adult rating, if they'd been able to do more, if it wasn't on TV, I think it would have been interesting to see him do it because he's so easy to play a creepy character. Fucking love Tim Curry. That is just like his specialty.
Like, every movie I see Tim Curry in, or every show, I'm like, oh my god, it's Tim Curry. Dude, one of my favorite roles is fucking Hexus. from Fern Gully. Toxic Love.
Did you
Oh
see?
my god.
He's always evil. The only time I have not seen Tim Curry be evil was Wild Thornberries. Oh dear, it seems I've got my hands stuck. Just pull your hand out, dear. Oh, what would I do without you?
Fucking Nigel, he's so great. Such a dope ass fucking character.
He's so great, and that's the only time I've seen Tim Curry not be evil. Because other than that, every character he played was evil. The sludge monster there. He was also in, like, Rocky Horror Picture Show. He plays the fucking mad scientist transgender. Like, I mean, he's always some kind of evil, fucked up character. Oh, and a shitty movie to add on here. Congo. He plays the dickhead guy who gets them all into the forest.
Congo.
And then gets murdered by the apes because he tries to take the diamonds and ditch everyone. So they murder him. So again, an evil character.
Yeah.
But yes, going back to it. This movie fucked me up too. It made me scared of clowns for a while.
Like I said, when I watched it when I got older, it helped me cure my fear of clowns because it was like, oh, that's not scary. That's actually funny.
Yeah?
Yeah. Like,
Yeah, I guess
it's
I
just
could
like Tim Curry. Tim Curry, I think the movie's worse for you because the giant fucking spider.
Oh god, yeah, the part 2, just giant fucking spiders, dude. I can't do goddamn spiders.
I was about to say, like I said, spiders don't bother me. So it was a funny movie to me eventually because Tim Curry is chewing that scenery. Every scene he's in, he's like, yeah.
It's magic. Would you kids like a balloon? Smart.
And just like,
But
it's
no.
so
Man.
cheesy as well. Like, it is not aged well.
Oh, well, I don't expect it to age well, but I mean, it's still... You got, like, the blood in the drain.
Blood
You
and
have-
balloons.
When the kid gets stuck in the shower, and he comes crawling out of the drain, and he turns all on him, like, that's fucking terrifying. That scared me to ever go in a shower like that ever again.
Do you remember who's in that fucking movie besides Tim motherfucking Curry?
No.
Seth Green.
Oh, shit, that's right! Seth Green plays the nerdy smart mouth.
Yeah, he played, I believe, Richie.
Yes, Richie, thank you. Yeah, damn, I forgot he was in that.
Yeah, there's like a really young Seth Green, which is so crazy. Like, there's so many people who are in horror movies that went on to do not horror movies.
Oh, speaking of which, I can name you 2 more right now.
Oh,
Johnny Depp in Nightmare on Elm Street, the first one, because we went to that,
Hi.
the classic showing at the theater last week. That was really fun. And when we were all amazed when we saw Johnny Depp, it's like, damn, he's young. Because he was,
I can
he was
be
only
your
like
boyfriend.
17 back then. Yeah, he was about 17, 18 or something like that. And then going
Yeah,
even
that's,
further than that, Leonardo DiCaprio was in Critters 3.
oh my god, really?
Yeah, he was a real young. He was about the same age when he did Gilbert. What's Eating Gilbert Grape or whatever.
Yeah.
He was a young kid about that age. I think he did that one.
Fucking hell.
Because if I remember right from the DVD I saw once, that was his first movie, and then he did What's Eating Gilbert Grape. He's
Damn, I didn't know
young.
he was in. I had no idea that he was in Critters 3.
Yes, and I've seen all the Critters except the newest one. There was one recently just made on Shudder, which I have not seen. But I've seen all the other ones. Yeah, it's like 3 or 4 he's in. But yeah, he's like, I want to say maybe 10, 12 years old.
I think it's
Young.
3. Because I'm looking it up right now. Yep, Leo DiCaprio.
He's fucking young.
Movie came out in 91.
Yeah, dude, he was a young kid. it was weird seeing him because I'm like, the youngest most people remember you is Titanic, but you were in your 20s. You're like barely a teenager here.
Oh, let's see. Critters 3 is one of his earliest roles.
Told you.
It is before was eating Gilbert Grape.
Ha ha! Suck it!
Look at you. You know stuff.
I had somebody try to argue that with me. They're like, no, he was in What's Eating Gilbert Grape first. That was his first ever young role. I was like, no, man, I'm telling you. All these big people get a start in a horror movie. I swear to God, man, he was in Critters.
Well, Gilbert Grape, here, I'll validate you. Gilbert Grape came out in 93 when Critters 3 came out in 91.
Ha ha! Suck my dick, senor.
Oh,
Touché. So yeah, I'm gonna rub that in some people's faces now. Some people can suck my dick. So yeah, it was a good movie though. But it was definitely one of the early ones there that scared the living shit out of me, and I know a lot of other people that around our age that their parents showed it to them and then like laughed at how miserable and scared we were.
And there are some people to this day who are still afraid of it.
Fucked. Like, hey, come here. You want to see this clown movie? Yeah, that's right. Just come over here. Sit right down. Yeah.
Don't worry, it was on ABC Family. It's good enough for that. Don't worry about it. Fucking little girl dies in like 10 minutes.
Yeah, for real. So yeah. Going from there, I'm just going to hit this one out real quick. Puppet Master. I have to bring this one back up again because it really fucked me up as a kid. Again, living dolls made by Nazis come back to life. Oh, did I not mention that before?
No, and I've never seen this movie before.
I thought you'd seen it.
No.
I thought everyone had seen that before.
Oh, God.
Yeah, no, it's the puppets are made by like an escapee from the Nazis, and he comes to America and he was making these dolls to fight, so they're like possessed dolls that kill. His plan was to make a living army forever. That
makes sense. Wunderbar.
So yeah, then because the newest one was the Littlest Reich. And it brings up all the past of all the other movies and his past. And then it's just a ton of fucking dolls literally killing everyone you see in this movie, except for like 2 people.
And they're also Nazis.
Yeah, and all the dolls are Nazis. Yeah, most of them have a little armband. There's like a helicopter one. There's a strongman one that has a baby. He has like a pinhead. I think that's what his name is, Pinhead. He basically has a pinhead that looks weird. But he's super strong. He rips people in half. There's like a scene in the newest one where he splits someone's back and ribs open and then hops inside and controls them. Like they're a giant set of power armor.
I'm drift compatible.
There's you have also the drill-headed one, the leech-spitting chick, and then the most famous one is the one he has a little hook and a knife on his hand.
I'm guessing that's the really pale one.
Yeah, he has like the blackened eyes, usually on all the covers. He's the more famous one. They're interesting. But they scared the hell out of me again because my great-grandmother collected porcelain dolls, and she had them on every wall of her trailer, and it scared the living fuck out of me to go over there and see dolls everywhere, knowing that they could come to life and fucking kill me in my sleep. Oh.
Huh. They all have fun names.
And it was even more terrifying. Because there was the fire that took my grandma's trailer back when I was a kid. And when we walked back through to try to see how bad the damage was, there were dolls with half-melted faces and shit. And that was just even more terrifying because some of their eyes were still intact. So it looked like they were just staring you down. Oh, creepy.
Eesh.
They're creepy as shit. So Puppet Master scared me.
That sounds creepy as shit.
Yeah, yeah. And Puppet Master, man, like the way some of the kills in the earlier movies, like it's taken a, they're pretty graphic. So if you're a little kid seeing that, it fucks you up.
It done fucks you up, and you're gonna get done fucked up.
There's a couple having sex in one of the earlier movies.
Nice.
And there's well, the drill-headed one drills through the bed, through the chick, and into the dude, and out his back, and like just walks out. And when I saw that, I was like, oh god.
But did she finish? 'Cause at the end of the day, that's equally as important.
I don't think either one did. No.
Mm.
Jesus Christ. So yeah, that's one I just had to get out of there. What do you got?
Well, a little less cheesy.
A little less cheesy. All right.
Yeah. But at the same time, so just take yourself back. No, let's just think about modern times.
Take me back to the Paradise City.
James Gunn.
Oh, okay. James
wrote a script.
Mm-hmm.
And Zack Schneider.
There you go.
Directing.
Sound it out. There you go.
Sorry, I forgot his last name. So Zack Snyder directing, written by James Gunn.
Awful.
It was Dawn of the Dead, 2004.
What?
Yep. This one was probably the first zombie movie I made. Yeah, I watched. Yeah, James Gunn wrote this, and Zack Snyder directed it.
Oh yes, I knew that. I was adding that for dramatic effect.
Yeah, no, this was probably the first zombie movie I ever watched. It's got some pretty good scenes.
I would just like to interject. I think vampires are overrated. I think the pseudo vampire is overlooked. The sugar-free vampires, if you will. I think they're overlooked by the zombies. What do you think, Anthony?
You need to, Mr. Morbius, Dr. Morbius.
Jared Leto, please.
Your episode was Monday, and today's Thursday. We're talking about our earliest things, and I didn't even know that you were fucking 30 Seconds to Mars until, 2 weeks ago.
Well, I don't like to bring that up. I'm actually talking about my movie coming. And I just like to say I think zombies are overrated, and I think that you should go see my movie, yes.
Alright, getting the gun.
No, there's no need for a gun. If you bury me, bury me! Yes, I will be going now, but remember, use Splendor. Sorry, he knocked me out, Anthony. I had no choice in that. He just knocked me out, man. I'm sorry.
You gotta be careful, man. I had to go into my closet. I had to get out the gun.
You should just have holy water by you at all times. Because if you don't, he can just come in here and kill me, and you wouldn't even know.
Blessed unto you, my son. So, okay. Yes.
So what do we have?
Dawn of the Dead, the 2004 one by Zack Snyder.
Oh, right. This has the guy that's like Coach from Left 4 Dead, but he's buff.
Never is called Coach.
I'm tired. But no, this is a really fun one. This was a fun remake movie. Fucking awesome. There's a zombie baby in this fucking movie.
I know. Yes, spoiler alert. A lady gets pregnant.
For real, spoiler
she's pregnant
alert,
when she's bit.
And she plays it off. They don't say anything. And she gives birth as a zombie.
Yeah, because her, husband...
It's a zombie baby.
Yeah. But this movie's got some pretty good fucking scenes in it. Like when they're playing chess with the one guy on the other roof.
Yes, with the one guy.
Well, yes,
he's
the other survivor.
Survivalist nut that owns a gun shop.
Yeah, and they try to he's out of food. We're in a mall. We're gonna send a dog. Perfect plan. So the guy opens up the little door. Dog goes in. It's like, cool. He's gonna survive. Zombie stops the door from closing, opens it up, and they all go in.
Yeah,
Like-
and then that dude dies.
Yep. Rather quickly after that.
Poor
But
guy.
no,
He
this
would have
one-
survived if he had just not trusted them.
Yeah. Or if you just would have.
Oh, what you look at that? It's a little old dog. What do you got, little? Oh, what do you got there? You got some fried chicken. Oh, that's good. Huh? Oh, I can smell them beans. Oh, zombies! Oh, zombies coming in! Oh shit!
And this also was the one where they had the fucking souped up truck with the chainsaw wall.
Oh god, yeah, they had the souped up chainsaw wall, all decked out in armor. They even had a propane tank, or like a mini propane tank for like a grill they had as a bomb. Oh my god, the one fucking zombie. Spoiler alert again, but they throw that into the crowd that surrounds him. Fucking dude, the zombie that lifts that shit up just looks like a mini tank from Left 4 Dead. And it like looks at him like, like, oh shit.
Like I know that Dawn of the Dead, the original one, is what inspired Dead Rising. But Dead Rising 2 was definitely inspired by this one, especially the making of the weapons.
But there is a scene when they have that chainsaw wall where they get struck and that chick just gets fucking sawn in half.
Yes, that's what I love. Like, oh, let's make a chainsaw wall and not strap the
no one-
chainsaw to the wall.
That was my first thought. I was like, there's nothing connecting that chainsaw. Like, it's just a free chainsaw. Like, that can only end so badly.
You run into a wall, that chainsaw's not attached anymore. And then you have a moving chainsaw in the back of a moving vehicle.
Just, I it's fucked up to laugh, but like, for real, when she's getting chainsawed, the dude who's holding on to it was like, oh my god, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. It's like, dude, your sorry means nothing.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to chainsaw you. Yeah, no shit.
Who put the chainsaw and secured it here? I'm so sorry.
Like, at least, like, attach a bungee cord to it or something. Damn.
So yeah, that obviously leads to somebody getting fucking murdered. But the ending, it wasn't a happy ending, because it goes into the credits and then spoiler again, but then you find out the boat was infected and everyone just fucking dies again.
Yeah, like they find a head in a fucking floating thing, and then they arrive at an island and get immediately swamped.
But Anthony, what song plays in this?
Is it a Slipknot song?
Can you feel that?
Down with the Sickness. Ah, shit. Shit, I'm gonna be down with the sickness.
I
don't even know if you're fucking with me.
No, it is in there. It's right in the end credits when they're pulling up to the island. That's the song that plays at the end.
Fucking, they're funny.
Oh yeah, that's the song that fucking plays. And my favorite part is the fact that they add that beginning part of, oh shit. It's like immediately after you see the zombies coming out when they're on the island, you hear that. Can you feel that?
That's like the most sensual part of that song. It's like he's right in your ear going, oh shit. It's like you're just rubbing the tip of your thumb.
Oh yes. You're getting done with the sickness because you're going to take a load. You might have a disease.
Down with the sickness, more like going down on the sickness. Hey.
Oh yeah, you feel that? Oh shit. Hang on. Oh shit. That's herpes. I'm sorry, folks. That was I couldn't help myself.
I'm not sorry. Oh, shit.
All right, so after that, we're gonna get to one that's gonna take more time here for me, just because it's Anthony had to look these up to even fact check because he had never seen it.
Oh.
But this was Stephen King. Now, did you find if it was a short story or novella? Because I couldn't remember which.
Let's give me 1 second to pull up my thingy. I have a lot of tabs.
Because, of course, this is Oddchat, so it's unscripted, so I just kind of... There's only so much I did because I'm not making a script, so...
Yeah, you're like, we're going to make a script. And they're like, okay. And then you're like, yeah, we're not doing a script anymore. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, it was more of like... See, the Oddchat gives me time to do more research on the bigger one. And the bigger one's going to be our Monster Classic coming next episode. And that's going to take more time for me to get everything together. So do the Oddchat where it's unscripted, I don't have to do as much, so it gives me more time to put into the other one. See how I work?
Accidentally opened up the...
Smarticles with how I do things.
Accidentally opened up the wrong thing.
Stop opening up porn.
Oh, daddy. Love you, daddy. Okay. It is a short story.
Okay, thank you. I thought it was. But yeah, sometimes they come back. This one and the sequel that they made, they came on Sci-Fi. Sometimes they come back, sometimes they come back again. These ones fucked me up because they were genuinely like very eerie the way that they did things, and some things were just over the top to be creepy. So as a kid, it was very, very creepy to me, and it fucked me up. Because there's demon sex in these movies. Like, they're making out with the dude, and then the dude changes into the demon that he is, and you have, like, the tail that, like, slides up her thigh, and he's all, like,
ooh, that sounds hot.
Horns.
Still hot.
Yeah, but then he, like, murders the person that he's making out with, which usually, like, the sister or wife or whatever, the person being attacked.
That's much less hot.
Like, oh, shit, like, he's that dude that they're hanging around with is a demon, and... Yeah, it's a whole thing, and it's the second one I remember specifically because there's a chick that gets murdered by tarot cards. She's like, she figures out they're demons, and she tries telling the other girl, and she's like, no, you don't understand, like, fuck the mystical bullshit thing, like, nah, I'm not talking about the tarot cards, like, I'm talking legitimately these dudes are, like, fucking, like, stay away from them, and then they, like, kill her because she's gonna tell her the whole truth. Which
nothing but the truth, though.
They throw tarot cards into her knees, and then they throw another one, and she puts her hand up, and it goes into her palm, and then they put two more in through her mouth and in through, like, basically her eyes, like, sideways, and kill her.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, oh, have you read your tarot fortune? Oh, no. Looks like death. And then they just start throwing tarot cards.
I would like that. Looks like your tarot fortune is the Fool. That doesn't make any sense. All right, we're gonna put this one back in the pile. It is
bad.
Swords. I can work with it.
But no, that is literally how that scene goes. He either says swords or death, and then they straight up murder her. The cards become like super sharp. But anyway, that's what I remember with that one. And but both times it's the same person. The first one's when he's a kid, and he stops them from killing and sacrificing her sister to open the portal to hell. And then the second one is he has to come back as an adult because they kill his mom to get him to come back to town. And then they try to take his teenage daughter and sacrifice her, and it's a whole thing. But yeah, they're just genuinely like it's creepy the way that it's done. So it was freaked me out as a kid there.
Did you know that there was a third one?
Like, I did know there's a third one. I watched that one, and that one was awful. Like, that one should just not have been made. It had nothing to do with anything we had seen before, and it was just dumb.
But the title's so great. Sometimes they come back for more.
Okay, I'll break down the third one.
Hell has finally frozen over.
Yeah, I'll break this one down. The third one is a military base in the Arctic that the there's like a team of 2 that goes in to help see why there's a distress beacon. Find that everyone but 2 people are murdered. And then they slowly find that the dude's brother is not dead and he's a demon and he's trying to raise hell because their father was Satan. So he's trying to open a portal to hell. Yeah, that's the third one. But the reason that the first 2 messed me up when I saw them as a kid, because when the demons rise up from hell, it's just a giant pool of blood. And, like, man, I give it to the special effects people who did those, because they are legitimately terrifying-looking demons. And the pool of blood they come through, they must have put, like, a film of, like a gelatin fabric, basically. So when they're coming up, they have to, like, tear through it.
Ooh, that sounds juicy.
And they're like soaked in blood and shit. It's super terrifying. It's amazing what they were able to pull off with that. So that's why they creep me out so much, because they were really well special effects done wise.
Well, that's fair.
So if you have not seen them, I suggest those if you want a good movie for October.
I have not seen them.
Those are really good. I suggest them.
Oh, did I do? Okay. Sure.
All right, now what's one of yours?
While we're on Stephen King, I actually want to talk about a really good movie that Stephen King actually hates.
Oh, really? What does he hate?
Yeah. The Shining.
Oh, that's right.
I'm not a big fan of him, but I love me The Shining. And with Dr. Sleep coming out so soon.
Now, how soon does Dr. Sleep come out? I've kind of forgotten.
Like next month, like November, like 2nd or something.
What?
Yeah, it's coming out. Let's see, Dr. Sleep. Look, I'm gonna Google it right now. Thursday, November.
Freaking now. Google it.
Thursday, November 7th.
That's November 7th. That is not close. I thought you meant like this week.
Dude, that's 14 days. That's 2 weeks.
14 days is 2 weeks. That's too far away. Too far away.
It's gonna be bad.
I don't like it.
It's gonna be. I don't like you.
I don't like your face.
It's got Ewan McGregor in it. He's Danny Torrance.
I don't care who you think you're playing in this movie. I don't like it. No, I'm just kidding. I think it looks alright.
Yeah, I definitely might rent it.
I definitely might see or rent it.
Like, I don't know if I'm gonna go see in theaters, but The Shining. I really liked The Shining. It was I liked it as a movie. I never read the book though.
So I hate to break up. I just.
You're breaking up with me, but I'm pregnant.
We'll talk about this after. You're not going to keep it. So we're talking about movies coming out soon. Speaking of which, I just saw today that they're already talking about a Joker 2. That it's that it's in production right now. Like it's already being written. It's in the green lit. With Joaquin Phoenix, and it will star more villains, and it will take place a few years after the first movie.
After we're done here, I want to talk to you about the Joker because I found out some fun stuff about it.
That's fair enough. I just had to bring that up. We're talking about movies coming out, sequels to other things, and that popped into my head quick. But no, Dr. Sleep looks okay. The Shining is that's a fun one. I don't know why he hates that one. Maybe it's because the guy who directed it was kind of a douchebag.
Stanley Kubrick. Yeah.
All right,
Stanley
I'm just gonna terrify
well-known
this woman until she's like ready to kill herself. So it was the best performance we've ever seen.
Fucking apparently every take, like every scene, was shot at least 60 times.
Oh yeah, that woman was like genuinely. It's like the movie The Birds by Alfred Hitchcock. Hitchcock terrified the living shit out of the woman. And it was the same case with The Shining, where like they just drove this poor woman to like insanity and shot the movie.
Sexism. No, I do like that with the birds. Like, don't worry, we're gonna put the birds in the special effects. It's gonna be all right. You're gonna be
they're all
completely
gonna
safe.
be fake birds. You can just get right in there. Now, just let me enjoy this, this pot pie. Oh, it's a chicken pot pie. But don't worry, the birds are all fake. You get in there, okay? And then she gets
All right,
in.
release the birds.
Yeah. Yeah, you see what I did there? I told her they were fake birds. They were real.
You see that? You see, that's genuine. I don't know why we're doing fucking Southern. He's fucking British first. But we instantly went like Southern lawyer. Like that big old Southern lawyer who's like, after we win this trial here, you and I are going to go home and get some sweet tea.
See, she gives us a genuine performance.
Yeah.
Spectacular. Splendid.
Alfred Hitchcock, well-known Southern gentleman.
Yeah, not British at all.
Yeah, no.
Welcome to What an Oddcast.
The Shining is so good. I love Jack Nicholson in this one.
Oh, Jack Nicholson's great. You have the classic line from the twins, like, come play Red Rum, Here's Johnny. There's tons of stuff that have been quoted off this movie ever since, and it's just a classic horror movie.
It's a movie where it's been parodied so much that people who've never seen this movie know the basic points of this movie.
Even if you have not, he is correct. If you have not seen The Shining, you have seen scenes of The Shining in other places. That is, very
like that whole episode of South Park where Randy has a blockbuster. You want some chicken nuggets?
You want some chicken nuggets? Hey, why don't you come in and rent my videos? What are you doing out there? No, we're not leaving, Stan. Who will watch and collect and rent the videos if we're not here, Stan?
I don't know, honey. I swear I just thought I saw someone in that blockbuster. Oh, don't be silly. No one's been in that blockbuster for years.
Good stuff.
Stephen King actually, he was kind of upset about Jack Nicholson.
Oh, really?
Being cast. Yeah, because he said that it gave away the twists. Which, spoiler alert for...
you gotta see, he looks crazy as shit, so, I mean, that just gives it away immediately. If the man looks like he's having a schizophrenic episode, then that ruins the whole point of what the twist is gonna be. No, I don't understand what you're saying. I feel good. Let's do this. Just let me get in there and give me that axe, and I'll just beat the shit out. I mean, let's act this part out.
So, Nicholson was Kubrick's first choice, but he was also considering Robert De Niro, who actually got a name here.
Bad taste in mouth, man?
Robert De Niro, Harrison Ford, and Robin Williams.
See, I don't know if Robin Williams would have been able to do that the same, though. I don't know if I can see him in that. But then again, he was good in 1 Hour Photo.
Oh, no, he was great in that.
Oh, yeah, but he doesn't... It's not the same, though, because that's just him being a creep. This is like straight up, I'm going murderer.
And not to mention, this was early 80s. Early 80s Robin Williams.
He done anything like that. He would still be, getting ready for Mrs. Doubtfire soon? Like Patch Adams, Welcome Vietnam. Good Morning Vietnam, Patch Adams, probably Hook, maybe, or getting ready for it. So, that would not have been a good time for him. He didn't do any of his other serious ones till, way later in his career.
Yeah.
Anyway.
He did good.
But no, The Shining, that's a good one.
All right, now we have you.
Randomize it. What do I got left?
You have two left.
Okay.
So, heads or tails?
I'm gonna go tails, baby, tails.
All right, I don't know why I said that. I didn't even have a fucking choice yet.
Oh.
Okay, we'll just do Jeepers Creepers, because the other one begins with an H.
Okay, all right. Jeepers Creepers, where'd you get those peepers? Anthony has a fun story with this one that I immediately need him to tell so it doesn't nag on me.
So, my grandma Betsy, who married my grandpa Ernie, was actually related to the guy who did the Jeepers Creepers song. Like, she was his first or second cousin. So, it's not that exciting, but yeah, I'm related to the Jeepers Creepers.
I think it is, because the only thing I had known that song from was the Jeepers Creepers movie, because they play it there. Like, Jeepers Creep. As soon as Anthony told me, like, oh yeah, no, I was like, oh my God, man. That is awesome. I don't give a shit. That is awesome. Y'all suck.
Well, thank you. By the way, a movie that Robin Williams did in 1980 was Popeye.
Oh my God.
But anyways, back to Jeepers Creepers. No, this one was a good one. I remember watching it for the first time. Justin Long.
Oh, Anthony, if I may.
If I might.
If I may. I have something that I would like to show everyone.
Okay.
I don't care what the weatherman says. When the weatherman says it's raining, you'll never hear me complaining. I'm certain the sun will shine. Oh, get up. How'd they get so lit up? Guys, all get up. How'd they get that size? Golly gee.
Yeah, so that's the Jeepers Creepers song. And then in that same jingle, at some, it ends up saying like, Jeepers Creepers, where'd you get those peepers? So yeah, that is what we're talking about. And they play that, and in case you didn't know or whatever, go fuck yourself. They play that in the Jeepers Creepers movie. So that's like his signature thing to let you know he's coming for you. Which is fucking hilarious.
Because it's such a chill song.
It's like a good times, like...
It's like you wiggle your fingers.
I want to say, like, it's like a good times 1950s little jingle. Like, it has nothing harmful about it. But when you hear it on your radio, you don't realize yet that there's a demon about to cut your fucking body parts off. Oh, God, if he regrows things, do you think he's had to do that for his his member downstairs? You know what I'm saying?
I wonder if there's a thing, because he uses other people's parts. If
he uses human parts to regrow his own. So I can only imagine there have been some times where he's had to do something unsavourable.
It's like... laughing at my own fucking joke before I even tell it. It's like, there's this Ron Jeremy.
Oh my God.
Well,
it's the darndest thing, Jim. We got down here and someone cut his dingleberries off. It is just the darndest thing. Did they get the Johnson with it? Oh yeah, they just took the whole thing. It is. I just don't. To a degree, I understand. I would be jealous too, but why would you take it?
Was even weirder. Did you guys see the shriveled up sausage over there?
Is anybody gonna eat that? Anybody know? No.
I'll bring you to my son's barbecue.
He's just sitting there watching him, like, oh yeah, eat it. Oh yeah. Now let me smell.
No, excuse me.
Well, there's no fear.
Oh,
in
dude,
here,
that
but
fucking
I certainly smell, bitch.
Dude, that fucking third nostril.
Oh yeah. The middle of his nose has a third nostril, and he smells your fear for what body parts he wants from you. It's fucked up. But I think Jeepers Creepers was the most terrifying thing to me, because I mean, you can't kill it. Like in the second one, they quote unquote kill it, but then it's basically hinted at that it just comes back again anyway. There's no killing it; it'll just sleep. And they did make a third one. I did watch it. It was straight to sci-fi in select theaters, and I get why. It was fucking awful and had nothing to do with anything. They just cock tease you. They just hint the whole time about like, oh well, there was this thing buried with its hand from years ago in the first movie, and well, as you can see, we had a priest put these things here. We don't know what they mean, and if you touch it, you can see what it is. Oh well, what is it? No, you gotta touch it. Did you touch it? Yeah, but I'm not at liberty to say. You gotta see it for yourself. All right, well, let me touch it. And then he touches it, and then it's, I know what it is. I know what it is. That's that whole scene.
I saw a fucking bomb-ass theory for that whole thing, where the Creeper is actually a soldier from an army being trained to hunt down certain, like an alien army, like infiltrators. So, like that Earth is just a simulation, and that's why no one wants to say, and everyone's freaking out, and that's also why Creeper can't die.
I thought that it was a demon, is how they hinted at it in the third movie.
There's just so many.
Because it has like religious things attached to it or whatever. About like when they hint at like when they touch the thing that it shows them like Adam and Eve at the tree or whatever, so it's supposed to represent like some kind of demon. But yeah, and the third movie was a tie between the first and the second one. Like, it was the most pointless fucking thing. The only thing it does is tell you that the first movie and second movie take place in the same kill cycle, as that it wasn't separated by any amount of time.
Well, yeah. I didn't realize that was a question.
That's the only thing it really tells you, and that it just shows you what happened in between it leaving the police station and getting its body parts back to what happens on the bus in the second movie. This is just like the in-between of like what happened.
Like, it's 4 days later. I didn't think it was that hard to do, but it's like...
Yeah, this is what happened in that 4 days. That's all this is.
Like, I forget how many years is it again? 26?
Every 23 years.
23. So yeah, like...
Every 23 years, for 23 days, it gets to be...
What does it eat?
Human flesh.
No, you know, when Jeepers Creepers 2 was on, it said day 22.
Yeah.
I just assumed that it was a continuation from the first one. Like, didn't think it was that hard.
I mean, you would think it's not, but people are stupid. So...
Mac's right. You gotta explain everything to the audience. Dude, and shout out to our friend Stefan/Sven. He is terrified of the Creeper.
That's true. It's true. But I think that one is more terrifying. You know, not being able to kill it and it just keeps coming. The only other thing the third one had that was kind of cool was it showed you more about his truck. Like, his truck is like its own thing. Like, he doesn't have to control it. It does its own thing. That was literally the only cool part about the third movie. The rest of it was fucking stupid and I didn't need it. But the truck, it was the coolest part of the whole thing because, like, the truck has, like, bombs on it. They can, like, seek out vehicles. In the very beginning, it's sitting outside the police station, and they're, like, trying to surround it, and it, like, shoots fucking chains out when they try to open it as a trap and fucking kills everyone. And then it takes off to go find him, and then later on you see him, they're trying to impound it, and it, like, breaks itself free, comes back to him, and he kills a bunch of people while riding on top of it. And then they have another scene where he has one girl alive in the back. He's trying to take her back to the lair, but then he ends up sneaking out to go get some. He kills some kids and bikes come up and try to break into it to get her out. But it's booby-trapped, so it just fucking murders everybody. That was the only cool thing about the third one. The rest of it sucked. The second one's pretty neat, because he just traps everyone on a bus, and then just slowly picks them off like they're cattle. And then the first one, you have cat and mouse games between a brother and a sister trying to escape Jeepers Creepers. They're all unique in their own way. My
favorite thing about that one is the fact that they're like, they could have all avoided this if they didn't go down the tube.
This is true. This is true. That is true. But no, they're worth a watch too. They're pretty cool. But yeah, what it is apparently meant to be a mystery. Even though they said they were going to answer it, they never fucking did. It was stupid. Literally, fucking. It made me so okay. I just have to say yet again. I have to iterate. I have to make you understand, Anthony. They tell, like, it's just this chick who has the fucking hand to this thing that came 23 years earlier and, like, killed her husband or some shit. But she got its hand and she buried its hand, and it's like, she touched it and she knows what it is, but she won't tell anyone. And then it has to, like, dude has to touch it, and then it, like, demon grips his hand and, like, breaks his hand, and he's like, it's so fucking dumb because this all happens and they just keep hinting at it. Nobody just outright fucking says it. Like, did you see what it is? I saw what it is. It has to die. I saw it to kill it. And then it jumps to the next scene. I'm like, what the fuck was the point of that? That was just, what was the point? So fucking dumb. They didn't even need to make that a thing. That should not have been a thing. So fucking dumb. Moving on. What else we got?
Well, I'm going to talk about the movie that has started my love. That really got me into horror movies.
My love, my darling.
Where I saw the woman I would call my wife, and together, well, I would marry her. Just so I could have him as a son. And I'm talking about Freddy versus Jason. He's my boy, Jason. The first time I ever saw Jason.
Wow, bang, dun, 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 dun. You make Anthony's dick sang, down.
Dude, there's not many celebrities that I would go like 100% out of my way to meet.
You would go 100% gay for.
Oh yeah. Kane Hodder. Oh yeah.
You all heard it here. He would go gay for the man who plays Jason Best.
No, I don't know about that. He's really a big scary man. I don't know if I'm into that.
Would suck his dick in fear.
No, but Freddy vs. Jason, the very first
Freddy vs. Jason.
slasher.
Fuck, what year did this come out?
Oh my god, I don't know. It had to have been like 2003, 2004. I looked this up before and I don't know. Freddy vs. Jason. This movie came out in 2003.
Damn.
Yeah.
I remember because I was in, I think, 4th grade when me and my friends were talking about this. So yes, you heard that right. You know,
it's not a movie you should have watched. But just, I don't know what it was about Jason that just was like, this guy is fucking awesome.
Jason was awesome, man. Like, he's just he's unstoppable. Like, there's nothing you can do to stop him. He'll just keep coming for you. And he's the one that, like, taught me that killers don't have to run. They just have to casually limp, half-ass walk, and you'll just get bitches. They always tripping. That's what I learned from Jason.
Yeah, remember when we watched this movie and we decided to do a drinking game?
Oh, I remember specifically, Anthony. Okay, it was Anthony's 21st birthday, and he decided, why don't we do some shots at every kill, pun, blah, blah, blah. And we're like, oh, yeah, that'll be easy.
Tripping. Oh, my God, the intro to that movie.
Maybe 10 minutes in before we just couldn't keep going because we were going to die. Because
yes,
it's just so jam-packed full of all the campy puns and shit from both Friday the 13th and Nightmare on Elm Street that they could possibly cram into it, that it is fucking impossible.
Like, and I still haven't been able to drink Fireball since.
Yeah, I never really cared for it, but I was like, hey, I'll just go with what you want. It's your birthday, and fuck that. That's a white girl drink. That is the white girl alcohol. I cannot take cinnamon like that. That is too much.
I don't even like spicy cinnamon. I don't know why
I don't like spicy. I don't understand it. Like, I like fireballs every once in a while. My grandfather, my grandpa Digi, he fucking loves fireballs. Like, he literally eats them like candy. Like, he'll pop, like, we used to get him shoe boxes full for Christmas. He'd have them gone before Easter. Like, he loves those fucking things. I don't like spicy cinnamon. Like, I could not,
I don't either. I fucking hate it and I refuse.
Cinnamon is sweet. I don't like it hot. Yeah. It's hard to explain that. And it's so weird that cinnamon can go both ways. Like, oh yeah, here's your fireball. Just so much cinnamon compacted in this little ball, it burns your fucking mouth off.
As opposed to a snickerdoodle cookie.
Which is sweet and delectable. Thank you, all you grandparents out there who make us snickerdoodles. Yeah,
also, fun fact, the Freddy vs. Jason soundtrack is so filled with metal, like I think it was subconsciously starting back in my head.
5000, Slipknot, there's a few other ones in there, but yeah.
Lamb of God.
Oh my God,
Mushroom
is there
Head.
Lamb of God in there?
Yeah, 11th Hour.
Wow, and what's the Mushroom Head one?
Sun Doesn't Rise.
Really?
Yeah, like there's.
I know every single one of these bands.
Like the soundtrack is so like
albums. Kind of know these bands.
It's definitely early 2000s. We want to sound really cool and edgy and dark, so we're just gonna put in all these.
Man, the Slipknot one that they picked wasn't even a good one. It was like you could just tell it was like a one-off. Like it was a demo that didn't make it into the main album for a reason.
Snap.
Yeah. Yeah, that one, it sounds like it was a mic warm-up session. Because most of it is just them screaming back and forth, going, gonna snap, gonna snap, gonna snap, gonna snap. Like, so it was definitely like just, all right, let's warm up the mic, what do you got? I'm gonna snap, gonna snap, gonna snap, gonna snap. And then, like, just they recorded that, and then somebody heard that over there, we're like, oh my God, this is so fucking metal, dude. I'm putting it in my movie, man.
Like Iowa was out by now, so they put in Snap.
But yeah, I remember that because they also had some Power Man 5000 in there, and I was just like, man, like that was like early 2000s as fuck kind of soundtrack. As soon as you see Power Man in there, you know it's either late 90s, early 2000s as fuck.
It's like when nu metal was a thing.
Yeah, you know, nu metal, it gets a lot of shit, but I mean, there's bigger bands that have come out of it and have gone off to kind of revolutionize how they do things.
I
mean, Korn, Slipknot came out of nu metal. Lamb of God came out towards the end of it all. Mudvayne, which not everybody cares for them. I don't mind them.
Seether.
Yeah. See, I don't mind them either. I don't know.
Who's also on the Freddy vs. Jason album?
Oh my God.
You weren't expecting Seether, were you?
No, I wasn't.
Out of my way.
Oh,
see, they just took all the nu metal.
But there is shitty nu metal out there, like Limp Bizkit, Stained, things of that.
What, Limp Bizkit? Some fucking Limp Bizkit.
Okay, so yeah, and with Freddy vs. Jason 2, it also had the "Welcome to my world, bitch." Everyone quoted that from then on for the rest of time.
Yes. Also, like, first time I ever saw boobies.
Freddy vs. Jason.
Yep, and they weren't even good boobies. I mean, all boobies are good boobies, but these are like
fake boobies.
Clearly implants. I'm more of a natural kind of boob.
You know, I've been. You know, this conversation comes up a lot with people. I don't know what it is, because like it came up at work one day. Everybody got into the discussion about like, yo, what do you think about fake boobies? And it just, the consensus I always find is that boobies are boobies, but you can tell fake boobies, and it takes away some of the fun of boobies.
Yeah, it's like like my brain knows, nothing in nature is that perfectly round.
Yeah. You can have perky, you can have droopy, things like that, but like fake boobies, you can always tell. It's like, no, man, because like ladies,
Like
I'm
I
sorry,
see you, Mia.
but fake boobies, like they get firmer and they're not as fun. Just put it that way.
Yeah, half the fun is pulling and twisting. you take boobs like a bop it, boy.
Now I just imagine in the middle instead of a nipple, it's just bop it. Bop it. Twist it.
Here's a tip for all y'all who wants a sex tip.
Fuck it. Bop it.
When you're in the middle of making love with a woman, take your nose and bop it on the nipple. Nothing will get her more wet. And this has been Sex Tips with Anthony.
Oh, we just lost all of our listeners. Oh my god. Anthony, what did you do? So moving on. Freddy vs. Jay, it's always, I still go back and watch that one every now and again.
Yeah.
Anthony's the Jason guy. I'm more the Freddy guy, man. Like, he just has some interesting kills, even though he is full of puns and he's like not as serious or whatever. I just love the kills he has. And even
the one
in this
thing
one,
I don't,
like, still, man, like, I love it.
the one thing I don't like about Freddy vs. Jason is that the ending was way too open.
You know, it was, but did England actually came out and he settled this.
Who did he say won?
He said Jason won. He's
okay.
yeah, he's like, the wink was in there as like an extra thing that I had done. In the original script, he doesn't wink at all. He's like, it was something that I added in, but in reality, he's like, Jason won. Freddy doesn't survive in the real world, so yeah, no, I'm just dead. That was just like a little tongue-in-cheek thing I added in.
Okay. I was about to say, because if he said Freddy won, that's love as much as I love Robert. That would totally be biased.
But no, Jason did win.
Cool.
I feel like we just, what do we have? One more on there? 1, 2 more?
Yeah, we got. We'll just do the double H's. So 2 more, 1 for you, 1 for me.
Okay, what do we got?
Well, we have one from you, which begins with the letter H. If you want to do that one, if you know it.
The letter H?
The letter H.
The letter H?
The letter H.
I'm lost.
Which? Well, would you be less lost if you had a friend or 2? Maybe one in front of you and one behind?
I would be. That would be helpful, mate.
Is my hint not good enough?
I'm sorry, mate. I'm a bit daft.
Okay, what if their asshole was sewn to your mouth and someone else's mouth was sewn to your asshole?
Oh, well, that doesn't sound like I'll be eating shit. I don't want to eat shit, mate. But yeah, Human Centipede. Me and Anthony saw this shortly after it had come out.
Yeah.
We
heard the stories.
So to clarify, me and Anthony met in 8th grade, and we've been best friends really ever since. Like I thought he was a cool guy, and he somehow got along with me. Hence, his friendship came to be. This was a movie given to as a recommendation by my father. And this is the man I'm like, hey, you like horror, right? Like, yeah, I got a movie.
Yeah, this movie came out in 2010. The Human Centipede first sequence. We saw it on Netflix, if I'm remembering correctly.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, it's a fucked up movie. Just people getting sewn to other people's assholes. You have to eat their shit, and you have to crawl around with your like kneecaps cut off. Painful. The ending of that movie, the first one, is so fucked too.
Well, the first movie, 100% medically accurate.
I don't know if that's a claim.
That's what they claimed. They claimed that.
Spoiler alert for the ending of the first one. They kill themselves. Basically, the chick in the back dies of infection. Because go figure, when you're sewn to someone's asshole and they're shitting into your mouth, your open wounds, you're probably gonna die of an infection.
Well, not to mention, she was eating shit that the shit of someone who ate shit. So that's double shit.
And then the Asian man in the front killed himself because he just couldn't do it anymore, leaving the poor chick in the middle.
Yep, she was alive.
It's such a fucked ending because she's just there. There's nothing you could do. It's either you tear away from the dude in front of you and kill yourself, ripping your face off, and then you still have the back to deal with. Like, no, man, that's fucked.
Which you'll just die from bleeding out of your ass.
It's fucked. Because the doctor gets killed. So yeah, she's just left there to just die. Then you go into the second one, and it's a fat little man who is obsessed with the first Centipede movie. He's like, oh, this is so cool. He's a huge fan, so then he tries to replicate it with the actress of the first movie. But he does it all himself, so he just like smashes their knees in to make them on their knees, and then staple guns their faces together to make the human centipede again, with extra people. And obviously it goes terrible. The staples, like, they rip the staples out of each other and shit. And yeah, it's like a huge bloodbath, and they just kind of murder this dude. There's an actual centipede that murders somebody because it bites like a therapist. He basically sicks it on the dude. So that's a thing. And then you go into the third one, and that one is a prison warden who's a fan of Human Centipede 1 and 2 movies, and he wants to make a human centipede using the prisoners. And he makes a regular human centipede based upon who's going to get released first and who's not, and they can be removed as need be. But if you're on death row and you're not going to be leaving, they make what they call the human millipede, where they cut their legs and arms off and they have to lay on the ground. Or the caterpillar, my bad, because he has no arms or legs and they can't move because they're all on death row and they thought it was funny.
These movies are fucked up.
Yeah, with a whole prison, an entire prison, in the hot sun. Because it takes place in Texas.
Of course it takes place in Texas.
So just a hot-ass fucking sun. And these dudes all just bleeding and just, it's awful. It is awful. And you're talking like 100-some people all this done too.
Now, I've only seen the first one, and that's probably where I'm going to draw the line. Unless I have like,
thanks to my father.
Unless I have like a party where we know we're getting into it. But could you imagine the actresses, like how they felt? Like,
oh God, no! They're very fucked up movies. And as I said, I've seen all of them thanks to my dad, because my dad's a huge horror fan, and he shows me anything that's just super fucked up. So I've seen all of them.
Is that including the masturbating with fucking sandpaper?
Yeah, you know. Anyway, moving on. What's your movie?
My final movie, since we're on torture anyways, Hostel.
Oh, that's right. Hostels are fun. So, a hostel is it's a place where you go and you sleep. It's like a hotel, but you get a bunch of random people. You come here, you sleep with these random people. Maybe you hook up, maybe you don't. We don't tell. And you have fun on vacation.
Yeah.
But secretly, we're going to lead you downstairs and shoot you in the back of the head or torture you, whatever we decide to do. But never mind all that. Just have fun on vacation. Get super high.
Eli Roth, written, directed, and produced by.
Now, let me just say, of course this is Eli Roth, because it's super fucking bloody and gory as fuck, and that is his specialty.
I've always wanted to be a surgeon.
Is it this one or the second one where they cut the dude's balls off?
That's the second one.
The second one, okay. With that, with the second one, I saw it with our good friend Jeremy, my other good friend, close friend there, and I know he's been listening. So shout out to you, Jeremy. We watched that one, and me and him,
bitch.
we would always talk about like just that ball cutting scene at the end. We're just like, man, like that is fucked.
Let him bleed.
Yeah, so basically the dude had tricked this chick into ended up getting into the hostel, which the hostel, they just murder you in front of crowds for money. And when the chick gets free, she cuts the dude's balls off as vengeance and feeds it to a dog. And then she's like, just let him bleed out, and she leaves as like a big fuck you. Like, you put me in here to die, so I'm not going to bother saving you, but I'm going to kill you in the most brutal way possible. So yeah, congratulations, Eli Roth, for making gruesome, fucked up movies, because that's like all you make.
Now, my fun story with Hostel is Hostel 2 was a movie I kind of watched. It was the last movie I kind of watched in the drive-in. So, what I mean by that, we went to go see Bad Boys 2.
Bad boys, what you gonna do? Oh, Jesus, that's a lot of blood.
So we were watching Bad Boys 2. I was sitting on the left side of the car, and I turned my head left.
Oh, you never.
And there were a couple of women topless on the big screen next to me.
Ooh, titties.
I was like, ooh, I like that. I'm gonna keep the spa scene from Hostel.
It was approximately 8:30 p.m., and Anthony had looked over from Bad Boys 2 for just a second, for he had a itch in his neck, when he noticed pairs of titties.
Yeah, basically. And then that's like early on in the movie. So I didn't know what movie was going on next week, so I just assumed, oh cool, it's gonna be a movie with a lot of nudity in it.
He was wrong.
I turned my head again, and there was a man getting his ankle sliced open and taking a step.
When Anthony turned his head again at approximately 9:10 p.m., what he did not witness big, glorious, perky titties, but instead a man having to step with his ankle being slit open. It was at that point Anthony realized he'd fucked up.
Like, that is such a fucking... It stuck to my head, and every time I think of Hostel, that's the first thing I think of. And how that guy just tortures the shit out of that other guy.
You know, I get that. For me, it's always the ball cutting thing, just because of Jeremy there. But no, they're body horror, gruesome stuff. I know that's not for everybody, but if you don't mind that, and you like, I could use some good, like, fucked up, gory kind of horror. Hostel's always a good way to go.
Ooh, can I recommend something else? It's also gory and filled with torture.
Go for it.
Essence Asunder by Fiend Gotts. Great little read.
Indeed.
If you like Hostel, you will like that.
Speaking of which, Anthony, you've read it recently. What were your thoughts on it?
I'm not going to say the spoiler thought because, spoiler, Fiend, you know how I feel about that. But, no, it's a messed up, dark book where you're like, oh, this is bad. It can't get any worse. It does.
Oh, it definitely does. It gets so much worse. But no, that's a great recommendation. You can find that on Amazon or anywhere else you'd like to buy books. Look for Essence Asunder, and it's a good one. It's fucked up. It's fucked up and brutal and awesome, and I loved it. And I bought it for this guy because it's just fucking good. But another recommendation I have for you, Clown by Eli Roth. Now that we're talking about Eli Roth.
There's anything by Eli Roth.
No, I wouldn't say that. Almost.
Ooh.
Give me a second. Clown's another good one. Just kids getting murdered by a demon clown. You've probably seen the trailer. I know it's floated around everywhere for a while, but it's the trailer that made him actually make the movie, because he just thought it was a very fucked up concept. So he's like, yeah, I'll do that. So he did. Dude puts on a clown costume. Turns out it's the skin of a centuries old demon, and he slowly turns into that clown, and he just starts fucking eating kids. It's a real fun watch. So that's another one for you. But no, almost anything by Eli Roth. I guess we'll end on this. I would not recommend his
Cabin Fever. That's a good one.
The original Cabin Fever, yes. The remake that he went back and did, which I don't know why he remade his own movie, but the remake I was kind of It was okay. I still preferred the original one, just because it was. I'm not going to spoil it if you haven't seen it, but go back and watch the original one.
I didn't know that there was a remake. I was only talking about the original.
Oh no, yeah, Eli went back and remade Cabin Fever, the first movie. It wasn't terrible, but he just kind of modernized it up a bit more. But it was the same basic thing. But no, his remake of Green Inferno, the Green Inferno that one was. Which is a remake of Cannibal Holocaust. It had its fucked up moments, but it took too long to build up to it, and then it was lackluster in some part. Like, the build up to the actual Cannibal Holocaust stuff was very lackluster. And he has a whole thing about, like, oh, don't destroy the rainforests and things hidden in there, which I'm like, I didn't need that with the horror movie aspect. Like, pick a lane. Because one scene, everybody's getting eaten by these fucking villagers, and the next you're, like, talking about showing how this company is, like, destroying the forest and killing the village, and it's like, I don't necessarily want to feel bad for them, because, I mean, they're just kind of murdering whoever the fuck they get their hands on and eating them, so, I mean...
if I'm going to watch a movie about technology versus nature, I'm going to watch Star Wars Episode 6, Return of the Jedi.
There you go. I feel like there was something else in there. Oh, Knock Knock. That's another one that Eli Roth did. That's
Who's there?
It's more uncomfortable than anything, and it stars Keanu Reeves.
Oh, that one. I saw a trailer for that. I think in front of John Wick 2.
It's awkward. It's an awkward movie. Basically, he invites. It's Keanu Reeves. Keanu Reeves playing a father. His family goes out for the weekend, and these girls end up showing up at his door, and he's playing like this nice guy, and he's like, they're like, oh, well, they dropped us off at the wrong address. He's like, well, it's a downpour. Like, why don't you come in? You can use my phone, get yourself a taxi to get where you're going, whatever. He helps him out. And then they kind of trick him into some other shit, and then there's some, like, really fucked up twist plot that happens. And it's more uncomfortable than anything in some parts. So yeah, I mean, if you want to, it's very much I'll say a ram, because I don't know whether to like it or scram it. Because the ending to it's very much of like damn, that's fucked up kind of Eli Roth thing. But some of the other parts are just like, it's just uncomfortable. So yeah. So watch it at your own risk. I'll put it that way for Knock Knock.
Who's there?
Go fuck yourself. That's who. But until next time, we're going to be covering Monster Classics on the next episode. We want to thank you guys for stopping by today. Yeah, we got oddcastmedia@gmail.com. We also got @oddcastn on Twitter. At the Oddcast Network on Facebook. I see more people are joining in and whatnot. Thank you there. Don't forget to share out. And we also have the Patreon, Oddcast Network on Patreon. You'll see us with the balloon heads or the pineapple on the beach. That's like our signature thing. Look for that. But until next time, guys, we'll come back with Monster Classics on Monday. And we're going to talk about how Michael Jackson tried to be scary as a werewolf. Because I feel like that's, we just have to. Thriller. Copyright suing, yeah.